All right, here we go with tutorial 1 of setting up our CNC router programming for our coasters. We're using a program that's called Vcarve, and you see it on the screen there. You're going to be using Vcarve 8.5. I think I'm using 9, so it's slightly newer, but for the most part, there won't be any differences that we need to worry about. Maybe just slight, but feel free to ask a question if something's not quite right. Now, to begin, you start by creating a new file. And in this video, we're going to do something called job setup, which is basically setting up the piece of wood that you're going to put into the router. So you've made a piece of wood at this point, and it should be to the correct dimensions. So the width of that was 5 inches, and the height was 14 inches, and the thickness hopefully was 5/16. And if I go to my calculator here for a second and I say 5 divided by 16 equals, that would be a decimal equivalent of 0.3125. So that's what I would put in here. The thickness of my material is 0.3125. Now, we don't really want to do that because it's unlikely that you achieved a perfect 5/16. What you want to do is go get the digital caliper and measure the thickness of your material very carefully and put what that measurement is in here. So I'm measuring mine, and mine is measuring 0.34 inches, so slightly bigger. So we're going to push, well, that's it for that. Hit enter, I guess. Oh, darn, if you hit enter, it kicks you out. So to go back in, you click that little icon there. So we're back. So now I'm going to keep going down the list. The reference we're going to use is material surface. This will become clearer later, but this is basically what you tell the machine is its starting point. And then it's going to dive down the 1/8 of an inch for the pocket, and it's going to dive down the 0.34 inches to get to the bottom to cut it out. So next is where we are going to start from, which is referred to as the XY datum position, which you can see down here is red. If I pick the middle of the piece, that little datum position switches to middle, and sometimes we use that, but at this time we're going to use the lower left corner. And this doesn't matter, this is just basically resolution on your screen. It's got nothing to do with the actual machining process, so we'll push OK. Now there's our piece, and it's all set up, ready for our job. And what we're going to do in tutorial 2 is we're going to import that PDF we made, put it on here, and get it ready for setting up something called toolpaths. So we'll see you in tutorial 2.